Sup guys, it's Sonic Moments, and today I'm gonna be making a generic atmospheric abstract sounding trap sample. And for this I'm gonna be using cheap sounding instruments, something digital sounding. The point of today's video is to show you how to disguise the digital cheap character of a certain sound in effects to make it sound more abstract and to hide its disadvantages and to show its advantages. You may call it whatever you want. So let's start. I'm gonna be producing in 150 BPM. I make tons of beats using these BPM. Okay, let's start with Korg. I've recently bought a whole collection of classic Korg instruments, and no disrespect to Korg, these instruments are all legendary, but all these Korg instruments got this type of cheap 90s digital sound that we don't want to hear today without heavy processing. That's why I'm gonna be applying a heavy processing to them. So let's start with a little bell melody. Let's add some chords with Wave Station by Korg. Just fine, as fine as it can be. Oh, let's add a cheap sounding piano. Yeah, I know, right? Keyscape is not the cheapest sounding piano, it's actually fantastic sounding piano, but I got a keyboard which is not suitable for playing Keyscape instruments, so that's why on Yamaha Mod X it sounds awful. You see, no dynamics at all, but that's not a problem because we're using cheap sounds today. Let's use half time for another layer. The next thing we're going to be using today is Mellotron, actually a Mellotron flute. Strawberry flutes, like a classic, a timeless classic from Beatles, from this Beatles record. It sounds like this. Perfect. Well, I think we've made a foundation for our beat, so now let's process it. Heavy processing. Heavy, the heaviest one. As you can hear, all these sounds are very cheap and as crappy as you can imagine. Let's make them sound more atmospheric and more like disguised in effects. Let's start with these two piano tracks. We better apply RC20. I know this is a paid VST, but you can find many free alternatives on the net, so I'm using this right now. Let's low pass this track. It's got its own function and it should have its own space in the mix. That's why I'm low passing it, and let's auto pan this track. I think it's better. Now we got this Korg section and I'm gonna be starting with M1, applying a flanger to it. Let's scroll through presets and see how they sound. I've also used chorus because I think flanger and chorus is a killer combo. Let's add a little bit more movement to it by adding auto pan. That's better. Now wave station. Some chorus with this. I like the preset called What Your Vocals Need from Dimension Chorus from Artura because it makes high end more rounded. You can hear this sound without this chorus and with. As you can hear, the sonic picture has changed a bit. Let's also apply a little bit of glue compressor to glue these both sounds. Yeah, that's better. And cut some high end and also low end. Now we can hear both sections, and let's glue them both together to get that more cohesive sonic picture. Let's also add a crummer tape to smooth out a high end. And also you can hear that crummer tape adds a little bit of more pitch modulation. We got our last instrument, it's called Mellotron, and let's apply Valhalla Vintage Verb to make it more spacey. Just like that, and auto pen. I think this Korg M1 sticks out of the whole mix too much, and we've not managed to hide its cheapness yet, so I'm gonna be adding some more. For example, Chorus Juno 6 for making high frequency sounds sound more smooth. Let's hear. You can clearly hear the difference. Gotta make it a little bit less. Our last step is to apply an RC20 on the whole group, make it sound more tape-ish. And that's how we got our sample. Let's make a full beat from it. And here's the final result.